This is GadgetStop321. In today's video, I'm going to revisit the little traveler's notebook that I took a look at in my previous video. Now, in my previous video, we went over the features of this notebook. It's a Voyager notebook that's made by Peter Pauper Press. You can pick these up at Barnes & Noble for $10.99. You can also get them online from Amazon for the same price. Now, if you get one online, you'll have more color options. At Barnes & Noble, you can just get brown or black. But the good thing about getting it at Barnes & Noble is you can actually open up the package, look at it, look at the paper, look at the inserts, look at the cover material, and see if it's actually something you're interested in. Now, yesterday when I was going over the features, this little notebook had a couple of issues that made it probably unusable for most people. So, after the video, I continued to play with it because I just like the look, the style, and the size of this little notebook. One of the issues was that the elastic strap that holds the notebook closed feeds through a hole in the spine, and it's the same strap that holds the inserts in place. So when you open up your notebook, the strap would go up into the cover, and the inserts would just be loose and feel like they were falling out. So if you were going to use it sitting on your lap or something like that, it would just be really uncomfortable to use. So what I did this morning, I took out the two outer inserts. They're attached together with a separate elastic. Set them off to the side. The middle notebook is attached to that elastic that holds the notebook closed. I just closed the notebook. I held it closed between my knees, and then I just pulled the elastic out and tied a little knot there as close to the spine as I could get it. Now, when you open the notebook, the whole elastic doesn't go back up into the cover. Now, you can see this is held in nice and tight, and when you put these two inserts back in, it's going to be even tighter, and it makes it so much more pleasant to use. That was a huge fix for me. Now, another issue that this notebook had was two of the inserts were not fountain pen friendly. Now, that was a huge bummer for me because when I checked out this notebook in the store, it just felt to me, this paper felt so smooth and so nice. I was certain that the lined and the dot grid would be fountain pen friendly. And I wasn't sure about the craft paper, but I thought, well, I'll just use that as a scrapbook anyway. Well, it turned out to be the opposite. The lined and dot grid were not fountain pen friendly at all. All of my fountain pens bled through terribly. I tested the extra fine G2, and it did not bleed through at all. Absolutely nothing. It did great, but this extra fine on these pretty big lines, it just didn't look great to me. So after I filmed that last video, I got the 07, the fine G2, and it puts down a much bolder line. It looks a lot better. It doesn't bleed through. You don't have any issues. So I'm probably going to be using this fine G2, the 07 G2. But I also tested a few of my daughter's pens. She's got some Uniball Signos. I thought I would give those a try. And so far I've tried the black and the red. The black, it didn't, well, it bled through. I would call that some minor bleed through. And I don't like any bleed through at all. So I would say the black is probably a no-go. The red was okay, but I haven't tried the blue yet. So I'm going to give it a quick try. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see what this looks like. Okay. And the blue didn't do as bad. Let's see. There's a little more show through than with the Pilots, but it didn't bleed through. The only one that bled through was the black. So I would suggest whatever gel pen you use, test it before you start using it in the front of your book. I'm going to stick with the Pilot G2. I think it looked really good. I've got a couple other pens that I'm going to try. I'm not really familiar with this brand. I just saw it in a cup downstairs. It's a little fine liner. Let's see, what is it even called? Foray Style Mark. Let's see, it's a fine 05. And I've got my red Sharpie. I looked for my black Sharpie, couldn't find it. I'm sure it's going to bleed through. Yeah, it bled through. And this didn't feel like it was a very wet writer, but oh, you can't even see it. It bled through quite a bit, that Style Mark and the Sharpie. Okay, let's see. I want to try these. I haven't tried the gel pens on the craft paper. I'm sure they'll do fine if the fountain pens did fine. And I really liked writing on this craft paper with my pencil. It wrote nice and dark and the paper was firm. I guess one option you would have, since these inserts are so inexpensive, if you have Amazon Prime and you don't have to pay for shipping, you could get a pack of just the craft paper if you don't mind not having lines. Let me see. I want to try the Signos. I'll try one of them, the black one. Oh, bled through. Look, so that Signo is even wetter than my fountain pens. Okay, let me try I'm going to try the Sharpie. Yeah, bled through. So I think overall, this is a budget notebook. I would say just plan on using a G2. The broader G2 looked nicer. It was nice and bold. I'm actually kind of looking forward to using this setup. If you found this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel.